I can die.
Hi.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Whatever Happened to Fun. We're your hosts, Bella.
Michael.
And Devin.
Whatever happened to fun is for the girl who prefers lemon over lime in her Diet Coke.
That is so true, and that is so me, Michael.
I know, yeah.
I'm so excited you said
I mean,
that.
as you guys know, I prefer no citrus,
Yeah.
but I'm citrus free, but I do think that like a wedge of lemon on the, especially when you have those like plastic cups that you get, the red ones, and just the lemon, it's so chic.
I did learn to love Diet Coke with a lemon and a fresh lemon wedge.
But they give you a rum and Coke with a lime. What's that all about?
Well, Diet Coke, people like lime in their Diet Coke, but here on this couch, and us listeners, we drink lemon.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm not lemon. I would drink
maybe lime goes into Pepsi. Yeah.
Michael's off citrus for 2025, so that's
I
just
really am, yeah.
something about him.
Never liked it, really.
But that means I get all of his limes when we go, lemon and limes when we go out.
I just don't like the pulp, like, mixing around my drink, especially, like, when I, like, squeeze the lime and then, like, having, like, the carcass, like, just, like, going around, like, in my drink.
That's fair. And now that you've said carcass, like, I understand you don't want to think about that when you drink your drink.
It's never
Dorit from Real Housewives. Yeah.
Shall we recap our weekends?
Yeah.
Sure. Where did we
Spent
start?
a lot of it together.
I personally feel like my weekend started on like Wednesday. Like I really like went pretty long and hard Well, we went out on Wednesday to celebrate ourselves.
Us, yeah.
So we did a little happy hour Wednesday. That was just a midweek. Well, right. And I bring that up now because although, you know, for normal people, that would have just been a happy hour. And then for us, it was a happy hour turned into going to the bar across the street from that happy hour.
Going to the tennis bar?
Getting a free astrology reading there, making best friends with the hostess at that bar.
Right.
And I mean, personally, I don't think I got home until like, 12?
Yeah, no,
So,
well, we were at the taco truck, darling.
Yeah, and then we ended at a taco truck in our neighborhood.
And it was
I went straight
literally,
home.
I saw it on a different block today when I was walking home. It's moved locations. It has different permits in different,
For different, like, times.
areas.
What is it?
You-
Like the La...
Yeah,
Los Swan... Something like... There's one near my apartment. Or there's multiple near my apartment.
Yeah, it's just that
It's
we
really
don't
good.
really ever get food trucks in our direct vicinity here.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was just like right there on Wednesday evening, you have to try these tacos. They're
I
amazing.
should go. I mean, I never see it on my way back, like, at night. I think it's, like, sometimes by the time I'm back, like, they've driven away. And, like, it's only, like,
because
the halal
I think they
trucks.
only have,
Like, it's not
permits for
as long as
certain-
like,
Yeah. It's, like, more of a restaurant than a food... Like, it's obviously a food truck, but, like,
Their food
it's
is
more
good.
established than, like, your typical New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
food
and
truck.
it seems like really fresh, and the churros are really good.
the churros
Yeah.
were so good.
Oh, man, I'm sure.
Okay, so we started our weekend really on Wednesday.
Yeah,
And then what happened on Thursday? Did we drink
just
again?
like another happy hour. Yeah, we
I
did.
Were we out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I met you on
Yes,
Thursday.
we went to dinner, and then we went out.
We all did the same thing on Thursday. I texted Belle on Thursday morning and I said, I had so much fun last night. Can we do the same exact thing tonight as we did last night? And
You guys did.
in a sense, did. There were
In
no
a sense.
tacos on Thursday.
Yeah, 'cause the taco truck disappeared. And then Friday, we had a fun night celebrating a birthday of a friend all together.
Yeah.
Shout out
Friend of the
Emily.
podcast, Avonlea.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like
It was
a
fun.
really, like, I would say just like a good fashion old time.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
really reminded
yeah.
me how much I love the Lower East Side, and I always do have a lot of fun, like Lower East Side, East Village. Like, it always is a good time.
We
out
do well there.
Yeah, we went to Dream Baby, which
We do some of our best
might
work.
consider that place like, what is that in SpongeBob? Makeout Reef. Like, everyone in there is making
Everyone
out.
is making out.
And listen, I'm
It's
all
Makeout
for
Reef.
that, but like, it's actually like
It was crazy.
I saw more making out there than I have seen at a lot of gay bars.
And I feel like
was
it wasn't
crazy.
that late when we were there too. So it was like a
No.
lot
So
of
the
making
hour,
out.
like, had
It
its
wasn't
own-
make out
Prior to make out hour.
I mean, for these people, it
But-
was, but
I will say that I always have fun at that place despite, like, obviously we're people who our time pretty much depends on what music is being played.
yeah.
And something about that place is very much like someone's phone is just plugged in and they are playing every song
Yeah.
through. There's not much of a DJ situation happening. However, I guess the music is good enough overall to keep us entertained.
Yeah.
There's high highs and low lows, I'd say.
True.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe a little break every now and then is good. You know, sit down a little bit, take a sip of your drink free of citrus.
Free of
And then
citrus
citrus
or
free
plant.
drink.
Come on.
Yeah.
Right, and that was the highlight of the evening.
Yeah.
But it will be followed by a Jackson 5 song, which
That's the
nothing
kind-
against them,
But it's just like,
do I really want to hear
How did
that?
we get from A to B?
Yeah.
No,
We didn't. Yeah. We didn't. There is no like transition there.
No,
Yeah.
the line from A to B felt so flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you want to make out with someone, take them to Dream Baby, the Lower East Side.
Definitely a great place for making
You'll have
out.
success there. Yeah.
Yeah. And all of that is to say that I was really hungover at the Cheesecake Factory on Saturday. I was hungover, you know, I mean, in a way, as a New Jerseyan, being hungover in a mall is kind of like my culture.
Yeah.
So that's what I spent Saturday doing.
What did I do on Saturday?
I went to go see 2 shows. I
Yeah,
went
you
to
had
see Jonathan Groff and
that's a long
his
day
musical,
for being-
and then I went to go see Stranger Things, which I've never actually seen the series, but I did go see the play, and it was like actually incredible. It was so
I almost
good.
texted you because
It
I
was so
saw
cool.
someone else saying that it was really good before you went, and I was like, oh.
Yeah,
I don't know what I
I've never even
expected.
seen the play, and I just thought it was gonna be like kind of dumb, like
Yeah.
almost like a
Like
theme
Disney?
park thing.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool. It was worth it. Like, I mean, yeah, it was. I'm like, everyone around me seemed really happy. It like felt like I was inside of it. Like, it was so cool. It was
That is
and, like,
cool.
a legitimately like good play.
As
Like,
a fan
yeah.
of the show, I will have to go see it.
You
As
should,
the one
yeah.
Stranger Things warrior in the group chat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like I didn't have any trouble with the plot because it's like a prequel
Right.
to it, so
Okay.
like you didn't really have to know. But I brought my brother who is well versed in Stranger Things, so if I needed a translator,
brand
I
for
had
him.
him on hand. Yeah, and so. But I think we ended up figuring out that like you didn't actually need to know anything about the series, but there's like one character in it who is going to be in the new season, and it's actually played by the same actor on Broadway as it is in the new season.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, so I think that's really cool.
That is very interesting. And you said that Just in Time was really good. And
Just in Time was really
Gracie
good.
Lawrence's
I am a
newest
Gracie
fan.
Lawrence fan now.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
I
good.
do want to just say, like, I pat myself on the back for knowing people before they are famous all the time. And I should be a talent scout, and it's happening again for me because Gracie Lawrence,
Here she comes.
that girl's, you know, parasocial relationship with her been my best friend since
Right.
Yeah.
about 2016. So I'm happy. I need to go see that show as well. I'm happy that she's getting her flowers.
I watched the Brooklyn Half Marathon.
Oh yeah,
Like my first
did.
marathon that like I've been like very close to, like actually like not like drinking at a table.
but you saw,
behind.
yeah.
It was really cool, and it was nice to see. It was my little cousin. She's not little, she's 21, but like my baby cousin's first marathon or half marathon. So I was really proud of her. But it was cool and it was fun,
Yeah.
Love it.
and it was a beautiful day in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we don't ever. Someone recently asked me like, "Oh, you must have good view of the marathon, like the actual one, the full one that happens in November." And I was like, "Yeah, like we live in a good area for it,
Yeah,
but
I
we've
mean, it's
never,
right- it's right
we
there.
don't like, we don't actually make that
No.
part of our.
We should.
We should really though.
Because we should have sat at that
I think we've
restaurant
always
that's
just been
closed
away. Yeah.
Near Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Well, when I was walking, I literally went to Trader Joe's this NYC marathon, and it
Yeah,
was like, so
same.
cute. All these firefighters were like
It was
sitting on
a-
top of their truck, and I was like,
That's so
wow, I
cute.
should have planned for this.
Let's plan to do
Okay,
that.
let's-
There will be another
2025.
restaurant by the time that the.
Yeah, so there has to be. Coco Pizza, if you're listening.
It was like some Coco Pizzeria.
Literally, it was literally called Coco Pizza. Okay, we good with weekends, everyone?
And
Yeah.
yes,
I do have something to address before we move into
the meat and potatoes.
the real subjects of this week. I'm addressing a comment that we got. First of all, we want to say thank you to everyone for all of the nice comments.
Yeah.
Please leave
Please
a
say
5-star
more
rating
nice
and
things.
review.
Please.
Interact with all our stuff. There was a comment on our TikTok that likened me to JD Vance, saying that I looked like him, and this is not the first time that I have received this comment. And I just would like to say that I am embracing it now. I didn't know that so many people found JD Vance so hot, but I'm happy to know it now. The three of us actually had our Halloween costume for 2025 already picked out, but I think I'm actually gonna have to go back on that so I can be sexy JD Vance this year. I'm also like looking to hire an agent, a manager, something who can get me seen early for the JD Vance biopic where he finally interacts with his homosexual tendencies. I just think that this could actually end up opening a lot of doors for me, and I need to embrace it. And so, yeah, to the person who commented that on our TikTok, or the random old guy that came up to me at a bar in New Orleans,
Yeah.
or the random person that came up to us in Ray's, you win.
That was the first
I am
time
taking your side now.
it happened to you.
Yeah.
I was around. I watched this man in Rays, NYC, God's country of all places, to be told that you look like JD Vance. I was like, I cannot believe my ears. And everyone who says it is not saying anything, like, they're not meaning it to be negative.
They're all like
they're just
Trump
straight
supporters.
up. They're straight up just saying it, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, the guy in New Orleans came up to me and was JD, and I was like, "That's you."
Crazy.
Yeah, I know. I also just like, it's not something that's in my nature to go up to a random person and be like, "You look like this person."
Yeah.
Like that's just not
Or,
something
like,
that's in my usual.
Unless it's like quite literally uncanny,
Yeah.
and although I understand where people are coming from,
I
it's
still
not
don't
like
think
I'm
I'd go up to a
looking
random
at
person.
at JD Vance.
Yeah, especially also someone like that where you don't know where the person's
Yeah.
gonna stand on it. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to offend someone.
It is I think it's insane.
Because, like, you have a good sense of humor where you're going to be like, oh, I don't see it, whatever. But, like, someone could be, like, so offended by that, you know?
Yeah.
And they should be, but...
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But
I'm
we
just
will
sticking
be.
with it now.
I understand,
We're
Michael.
taking it in our stride.
And among the other things that you listed that could be good for you, we will be making sure to organize a JD Vance lookalike contest that we will be holding in Washington Square Park, just so that Michael could actually win.
I'll win. Perfect.
So
Wow.
keep tuned for that. Stay tuned for that.
We can have another event in Washington Square Park that gets shut down, just like Lord. So, good things in the works.
Yeah, that'll be just like that, except
Yeah.
for nothing like it.
It'll be nothing like that. We'll make flyers, don't worry.
All right. First
Alright.
hot topic.
Okay.
Jump into pop culture. Here, I'll play the video.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll explain.
The first one here, you'll have to give us the download.
So
Yeah.
basically, context. This video, okay, so we're going to jump into our pop culture topics of the week, and we're going to start with this video that Tyler Cameron posted. Probably everyone knows he was on Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette and has now become, like, just like your average influencer. Something really funny just happened to us. I'm so sorry.
You guys are just like wiping your tears away. No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. Okay, so Tyler Cameron, he's dating this girl Tate. I actually don't know much about her, but she looks really
No,
cute.
she's just a normal,
Like,
person.
but she does have like a bit of a following, but I'm assuming it's just from him. He posted this video and it's captioned, "My girlfriend is the life of the party." I'll play it for you guys. I'll play without sound on YouTube. Okay, so that's the whatever. And all of the comments are like, "This is so embarrassing." I just remember seeing one that was like, "And this is why I'm sober." Like, looking at this now that I'm sober is whatever. So I'm so glad I'm sober. So that's why. And then this person is like, "Everyone in this comment section is boring. My favorite part is when she falls and pushes you away." Like, I just want to take our take on this because this is kind of, in our thesis of like.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but that was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Like the part where she falls onto her back, but then immediately like gets herself back up into like a really like chic and like kind of sexy hands handspraying kind of thing. I don't know what that is.
And this guy's like continuing to pour milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's milk.
Yeah.
Less chic, but I do think that this is fun.
Yeah.
And he comes in right at the right time. I just need to know which one Tyler Cameron was to be like, okay, your help. I like his approach of going to help her, but as soon as he realizes she's fine, he backs off and still lets her do her thing.
Not being like, okay, time to wrap it up.
So where I lie on this is that.
How old is she?
I don't know. I really know very little about her, so I should have done some more research on that. But
Yeah, because some people were like commenting on her age. I'm sure that it's an age-appropriate relationship.
yeah, I mean, he's not that old. I don't think he's 30. I think he's probably 28 or something.
Where I lie with this is that I am assuming because they are in a relationship that he got her permission to post this video and she's totally fine with it. Yeah. So I feel like there's no like issues at all here.
Yeah.
Like if she was like, "Oh yeah, I feel fine about you posting this," then who cares? She's owning it. Right. Yeah.
Also,
I personally think I've been kind of having an internal like ongoing monologue really recently about like people filming strangers and putting it on the internet because that happens a lot, and I think that actually ties back into what we're saying here with like our main thesis of this podcast is that like people are afraid to have fun, and I think a lot of it has to do with like they're afraid of like being put on the internet and like they're afraid of like dancing because they don't want to be like filmed dancing and like whatever. So I think if this was maybe a random person,
It would
that
be
would
different.
change my opinions or change the lens that I would be looking at it through. But this is like clearly he posted the video. They had a conversation about it. She feels fine about it. If she doesn't care, feels confident enough, like isn't embarrassed, then like
Yeah, and also
I'm like,
it's
I
not
don't.
like he's
She doesn't.
like,
He doesn't have to care.
my drunk girlfriend. He's like hyping her up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, that's if the sentiment was like he
Yeah.
was somehow being condescending or something, that
Yeah,
would be
no.
different. I'm not bothered by it at all. And if she's not bothered, then I'm not bothered. You know.
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy when people are like looking at this sober. Like she also like she's falling because she's in milk. She could be dead. Like obviously she's not sober.
Yeah.
But it's like she's falling because she's slipping.
It
Not
really
because
seemed
she's
like she wanted to get up. Yeah, like
it's
I
kinda
think she was
seemed like
having
she
fun.
wanted to
Yeah.
roll around.
Because as much as like clearly those are actions of drunk people, I've seen like way more
Something worse.
something that's like really drunk and like would make me more sad.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me sad. That's just like that's a normal drunk person having fun and she's slipping
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah. I
Just
don't
slipping
know.
and
I
sliding.
don't support the hate.
No, so Tate, we're on your side. I would like you to get more gallons of milk and continue to slip in
And
them,
continue to like,
right?
yeah.
yeah, like rub in it like a pig.
Yeah, I want you guys to make a video together slipping.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Not in a weird way, just like in that same way,
Yeah, I want them to have their
right?
a comeback.
'Cause
I want
they're
have they
not-
like made a statement about it or anything?
No,
Like
'cause
they're just
it's
letting
crazy
it
how
live.
All of the comments
I
are
mean,
so
it'll,
negative.
yeah. Well, I feel like, but that also like goes into like internet TikTok stuff, or like especially TikTok and Twitter. Like, it's stuck on something for like a day where like they're probably not gonna address it because it's not like
Yeah.
they're
'Cause
doing
it's
anything
gonna-
wrong, and it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
They're not doing
it's
anything
so like the
harmful.
talk this week, and then like
Yeah.
Never
it's-
again.
it'll be never again. Yeah.
Especially because if she's not also not someone in the public eye, then she probably doesn't
Yeah.
even care.
I
to
was
clear.
looking at this.
Right.
It seems like she's like a photographer or something.
Yeah.
So she seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's
she
really
does seem
cute.
cool.
Yeah.
She's cute. So they get the fun
Stamp of approval.
Yeah,
Sure,
They're,
yeah.
They're fun. You're fun. I like you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, next. SZA started.
Oh
off
yeah. I
tour.
honestly I didn't see this either, if I'm being
You
honest.
didn't?
I saw like
I
one
saw
I
it,
saw
but-
one video of it and like I didn't kind of watch it.
For those who are listening and not watching, SZA has
I'll
started
put it on
her
the screen.
tour with Kendrick Lamar, and in this video, she is doing some sort of choreography with the dancer who, like, she puts her leg around him, and he's dressed like a bug, and then, like, he almost drops her after she puts her leg around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the opening night
Yeah,
of
this is
the
the
Grand
opening.
National Tour. And also, like, there has been many things about SZA and her lip singing.
Yeah.
But I have to defend her here and say that when any pop star is doing something hard like this, dancing-wise and movement-wise, they are going to either have a backing track
Be
or
having a
lip
track.
syncing, lip syncing, because, like, naturally, like, that's not the same way she'd be singing it in the studio that you're listening to, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, of course.
like, of course she's gonna have a backing track, so when people are like, oh, she's lip singing, it's like, well, you would be too, because it's really hard for you to hold your breath support.
Yeah, I think where the more of the discourse lies is that I heard people saying like the track's not even recorded for the tour. It just sounds
It's
straight
just
up
like-
sounds like the studio recorded
which is
version.
a whole different thing.
I'm going to say something a little controversial. I think I'd rather hear SZA's real vocals than see her do choreography. I'm not a huge SZA fan.
Yeah.
So I don't, but like I was thinking like, obviously we know like Gaga and like Beyonce, like they just sing live while doing their choreography, but like we know that like Lana just kind of stands there, but like most of the time she is singing live and like everyone's kind of doing what they want that's gonna fit their own personal
Sure.
performance.
And maybe
quality.
SZA hasn't really figured out what to
I think she
that
might.
is for
yeah,
her.
Yeah,
that's
she
true.
hasn't.
It's just kind of like I would rather. I feel like SZA has such a beautiful voice that like I'd rather her kind of like stand there and look beautiful, and like even when she does like the thing where she's like a fairy or like wherever, like I
Yeah.
saw like videos of her like
Yeah.
floating around, like there you can kind of sing live. So like do like more production like that instead of trying
Yeah.
to dance. I don't see her as a dancer.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say we don't think of her
Yeah,
as a dancer.
I mean,
The last thing I
This
think
is
of her
also one clip out of the whole tour, so like
Yeah.
one, I want to say whatever mistakes happen for that dancer, that's a blip. Like the world keeps spinning. The
Yeah.
show must go on. Two, I would just be more interested in seeing like the show as a whole and see like how much of like those background dances are integrated into it, or how much just like standing and singing she is doing. Because again, like that could just be one clip, and who knows what she does.
Right.
I have
her
no
songs
idea.
are very like wordy, like and like I feel
Yeah,
like it's a lot
so
of lyrics, a lot of like.
I don't feel as though a lot of that, her music gives way to like some big dance numbers. So I would be interested, although that is probably literally the one tour I'm not going to because I can't get cheaper than a $300 ticket.
Yeah.
And I just can't
I
right
didn't
now.
think that one was going to be so hard to get into.
I just cannot. But I really want to, so.
I would go, yeah.
You never know.
I would go, given the opportunity of a cheap ticket.
Yeah, I can only offer you a $300 ticket, so. I actually have been still thinking about it, but I just don't have the budget right now for that.
For that one.
Kidding. SZA, love you.
Love you. Sorry you fell. But she didn't fire that guy.
They haven't.
Yeah, so it was my understanding, like, that's the first thing that happens the first time she steps on stage.
Yeah, that's a little.
It's just tough. It's not.
That's tough.
It doesn't deem it as bad or as
getting
whatever.
off to a hard. Yeah.
It's rough for her, and I feel badly.
That is tough.
Well, speaking of tours,
I mean, it's touring season.
It is touring season.
Like, what else are we gonna talk about here?
Also, we're recording this before Beyonce starts her Cowboy Carter tour, so I'm
just,
sure that's what
hours.
A lot of people will be talking about.
Yeah.
So an artist named Katy Perry started her Lifetime tour. Everyone's like sitting back, letting me take this one.
Yeah, no, I literally just picked up my phone. Sorry.
So Katy Perry started her Lifetime's tour after her album 143. It comes just a week or so after she went to space for 11 minutes, and things did not start off the way they planned ever since she really came back from space. But when this tour started, things have not really been going her way recently.
When did the tour start?
Last, like, Thursday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
a week ago,
I
maybe?
feel like things haven't been going her way for a very long time now.
And it is also my understanding that she actually, in space, announced more tour dates.
She announced the set list. Yeah.
She announced the set list
Yeah.
in space.
That video
I
is the funniest thing I've ever
kind of want... Okay. This space thing, I was surprised that so many people were mad about it. Not because it's not a bad thing, but, like, what did you guys expect? Like, you know what I mean?
It's not really. I mean, I'm not gonna blame it all specifically on Katy Perry.
No, I'm not even blaming Katy Perry. I'm saying, like,
Just,
what did
like,
people expect? Like, these are, like, billionaires. They're gonna...
Billionaires
it's
are gonna be
happen without
billionaires.
Katy Perry or Gail King.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
that was, like, for, like, Olivia Munn to be, like, sitting on the Today Show and all her, like, designer clothing, being like, this is not girl power, like, going to space. It's like, yeah, but neither are you. Like, it's just kind of, like, I don't think that, like, being mad about the space tour was, like, the sleigh that some people thought it was.
It's actually just.
But it also wasn't the sleigh to go either.
I mean, the celebrities are not even the billionaires we should be placing the blame on. It's still people who are richer than those celebrities that are sending us to space. Whose was it? Whose aircraft was it?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw that guy.
Yeah,
I understand what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
I think certain attitudes and certain things that came out of Gayle King and Katy Perry's mouth, it's still, you can laugh at it.
Annoying.
It's annoying.
No, I loved the whole thing. I loved them going to space. I loved what they did in space. I loved when they came down. I loved all the backlash. I loved everything. Like, I liked it for a pop culture moment.
As a consumer of the culture,
it was
it's
great.
Hilarious.
It was the most exciting thing to happen.
But also, you can be angry about it. And they definitely, I think there are things that they could have even handled better. But to your point, it was going to happen whether they signed on or someone else signed on. So, yes, to that point, it's not their fault. But also, celebrities are also... it was just going to happen regardless.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know.
So, yes. So that leads us to this new tour. Yes. Comes after her album, which was not the best.
Yeah.
There were some fun moments for me, personally. I think the issue with Katy Perry is that
3 hours later.
Yeah, literally.
We can do a separate episode on this.
Well, I also have something going up on our Substack.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is, like, see, I'm going to the tour and I'm really excited. I think that, like SZA, a lot of these clips were taken out of context. I actually thought that a lot of the parts were really cool, and a lot of the tour does look really good, not including that one video of her, like, dancing when she's like, it's like the camera's right in front of her. She's doing crazy. But also, it's not really, that's also not really different from what Katy Perry has done her whole career since the beginning. I just think a lot of people don't realize, like, just like the people who are like posting these like tweets and stuff, or like the Wendy's social media account, that like we have like grown out of her. But like I think a lot of people are like making her seem like a horrible person, and like I don't think that's the case.
I think
I don't think it's bad if people think she's annoying.
Yeah.
I happen to really enjoy her.
I think she's just annoying. Well, to be fair, the Dr. Luke thing is a separate issue.
That's inexcusable. Yeah.
However, I think on a daily basis, I agree, like, she just kind of didn't know maybe when to quit while she was ahead. And not even say she had to quit, just in terms of, like, this isn't your moment, step back right now.
Yeah, or do something new.
Because I think what was happening was so many pop girls were having a main moment last year, and what she did was trying to keep up with that or trying to match that. And what Katy Perry lacks was, like, I'm not saying your music has to be extremely deep. No, it doesn't have to be, but you're either going to make it extremely deep and have a point of view, or you're going to make really fun music, which is also fun. We like fun music.
I love fun music.
Yeah.
But it also was bad music.
Yeah.
There wasn't...
It's like, look at Addison Rae, who's making music about nothing.
Or like,
it's still...
you kind of, like Lady Gaga, right? They've had similar, like, timelines, right?
Yeah.
And we just saw Lady Gaga, clearly she didn't peak already, right? We're watching it happen. She's back with a vengeance. And it's because, like, Lady Gaga makes fun music, but she also has a point of view, and she's also really creative. She could, I mean, that's incredible, right? And no one, but even a Charli XCX point of view makes fun music. And if you just want to say, when I go to the club, I want to hear those club classics, you can do that too. But what Katy Perry was trying to do was, like, have a point of view and be fun, and the point of view fell flat. Like, it was like she tried to have a message and it fell flat, and none of it combined. So all of that to say, like, to bring it back to this tour, is I don't think she ever cared about the feedback from this album. She just wanted to release an album, and she wanted to go on tour. I feel like she's doing it for herself. I'm not even sure, because this tour is, I read at least sold 70% capacity right now. It's so I think it kind of didn't matter what the feedback was going to be. She just wanted to do it. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I've seen her perform very recently. I saw her perform at the VMAs, and it was a wonderful performance. But I think, like, saying what you were saying about Charli, like, I just saw this video of Charli being like, you know, I've spent over 2 years creating this world of rap that, like, every little thing has been so thought out. And, like, not saying that Katy hasn't thought this out, but clearly, like you said, she hasn't gone back and been like, and like how Lady Gaga did for her Coachella performance, she gave the people what she wanted. There are probably some things that we want from Katy Perry. She didn't care about that, and I don't think her team.
I think she also just has the wrong grasp and point of view on, like, what people want from her.
But I also think that, like,
her release Women's World.
Well, that's the issue, because it's also like, I think that, like, she did kind of convince, like, I do think that there was, like, it was like before she announced Women's World, and it was like there was a lead up where, like, she did kind of convince people somewhat successfully that she was coming back, and it might have been successful.
But Women's World literally ruined that.
But that ruined everything.
Women's World was the crux of it.
Remember, and it was like she got her new stylist. She was looking amazing.
Yes, I agree.
Found out that Doechii was going to be on the album, and this was like before Doechii was even like building up. So like she successfully I think that is another big reason why 143 was not a good album in many ways. But like I also think it was like she so successfully teed herself up for a good comeback, and then once it was actually go time, nothing was successfully, like, she convinced us it was going to happen. She always kind of convinces people she's able to come back, and then she never does. She can never deliver.
But I think that, and that,
even though I do enjoy her,
that therein lies the issue of, like, she wants to convince people she can do a comeback. She's so focused on, like, having a comeback and proving something, and I feel like the focus is in the in the wrong.
Yeah, because when it's not genuine, you're so focused on, like, being this thing versus it being genuine and something you love and you know your audience is gonna love. Like, that's where, like, even if it was, like, not the biggest land, it would still at least not feel disingenuine like it does now.
And this album was literally her, like, she literally was saying in interviews, like, this is me in my hot pop girl era, like after Women's World Convention. She's like, this is just like fun camp music. It's like, you've done this for like the past 5 albums. Like, do something different.
Yeah.
Even though Witness, I think, was trying to be deeper, but that also just got messy.
She's just like lost her own plot.
She lost her plot so deeply. But
this kid, like, we could do a completely separate episode on a breakdown of just about like her career trajectory.
We'll go to our Substack. I put a lot of it's really long. The rise and fall of what happened. The rise and fall of Katy Perry. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm going to the tour. I'm really excited. It looks fun. There's parts of it that seem cool. In August, it's going to MSG and Newark. I haven't decided which one I'm going to, but it seems cool. Like for her surprise song section, there's like a QR code before the show that like fans can like vote for like which song they want to hear. Yeah. Which I wish Taylor
I mean, I'm sure overall like the production is.
Oh, you want to just call Taylor up and tell her what to say?
Yeah, honestly.
No, I'm sure overall like the production is enjoyable of the show.
Yeah,
like I'm not like, but it's just I think the reflection of the opinion on her as a culture is like the tour is 70% sold.
Yeah.
Max. Like that's not.
We're all
I mean, obviously we're all broke, but we're also if we do have money, we're not spending it on Katy Perry.
I mean, I am, but yes.
Which is a ticket.
Yeah, you're not spending. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not spending that much money on Katy Perry, so that's also okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Update coming in August.
We'll check back in with Michael
in a couple months.
He goes to that concert alone.
And insert clip here. He's gonna be like, "That was the best thing I've ever seen."
I saw her in Vegas.
No, she was really
that
good
was
at the
fun.
VMAs. Like, I enjoyed her performance.
She was good at the VMAs.
Dochi's foot was like right in my face.
Slay.
I forgot you were there. That's
it was honestly, that was good, and she was like flying through the air. Wait, one more thing about Katy Perry. I keep seeing this video that's like a clip of like some other pop star girl who has gone on a tour this year, and then a clip of Katy Perry doing the exact same thing.
Oh no, really?
Yes, it's literally like Taylor and then Katy and then like Sabrina and then that and then Pink flying through the air.
She's Shakiraing it up.
No, it's literally.
Really?
I'll try to find the video. Maybe we can post it on TikTok. But it's pretty insane.
Well, but then also it's like, oh my god, like when. I do think that's funny, but also it's like, there's also like an incessant need of like, this is even beyond Katy Perry, but like the sort of like desperate reach of like people. To embarrass someone or like, cause even like, I think it was like someone was trying to be like comparing Gaga or like, there was like this viral TikTok that I saw that was like, it showed Gaga doing something, but then it was like 10 years ago and like Taylor was doing it or like something like that. And it's like, okay, well like, these people didn't invent anything, and like even if you really want to go down to it, Madonna probably did that like 35 years ago. But like there is just
and
like
then someone did it before.
I think I was thinking about that during Coachella when like people were just like being annoying or something.
Yeah,
it was just
it's also
like,
this like
oh
aggressive need to just like always compare women.
Yeah,
and
and also like thinking you have like kind of an original idea, and then there's like the thirst of like immediately putting it on TikTok because it's so easy to like go viral on TikTok that like that somehow turns into like validation for someone.
Right.
And to your also point of this is a bigger thing about culture and the internet, but there's such a need to also just like have your mind made up.
Yeah.
Like I think everyone thinks they need to have their mind made up about one person. Yeah, they need to have a definitive opinion about Katy Perry. I think just like allow yourself to change your mind also about things. Yeah. And this isn't me defending Katy Perry. Like
I think you guys are gonna.
I think overall, I'm clearly not overall very much a fan of her. But I think what you'll find about us on this podcast is like we don't feel the need to be like definitive about our opinions in people, and we allow for human error, and we allow for our minds to change about things. Like
iconic tomorrow, and I'd be like, yep, we're right back here.
Right.
You know what I mean? She could put like nipple tassels on it and be like, let's go.
Whereas
she probably has nipple tassels on right now.
Right.
As a matter of fact. But yeah.
That's one thing we could be sure about Katy Perry wherever she is.
Yeah.
The nipple tassels are
yeah, for sure.
Love her for that.
All right. Next.
Okay. Big one of the week. This is huge.
Well,
actually, Bella and I wanted to talk about Jojo Siwa on Big Brother. Is that what this show's called? Actually, I'm gonna need Michael to give me a download of what Big Brother is, because I think you have told me what Big Brother is before, and it doesn't like, it's not something my mind has made space for.
Well, yeah, Big Brother,
Can you
this
say it in,
is,
like, baby terms?
this is big celebrity Big Brother UK. But, so I couldn't even watch it. I would have watched this.
So why is Jojo Siwa there?
She
it's
went,
like when
yeah.
they bring
But
a
Trisha
random,
did
like,
it, yeah.
Like, Australian person into, like, Love Island UK.
Yeah.
So she's this American
Trisha
cameo.
did it a couple years ago, yeah. But basically, Big Brother is like, there's a lot of people that go into this house and like the prize is like probably like $500,000 or something, and you kind of just like play a social game, and there's like different challenges, but like basically you're locked in a house, you don't have your phone, you don't have anything, you don't have any access to the outside world. There's cameras on you 24/7, and you're just like, people are watching you in this house, like just like, it's just like a social kind of game to win the money.
How do we win?
There's like challenges every week, and then like someone will be crowned the head of the household, and so then that head of households will nominate 2 people for eviction, and the house votes who they want to leave the house.
Okay, so it's just like...
So yeah, and it's like you have to like make alliances, and you have to like treat the people.
Like
Sure.
Or like,
Sure.
Yes, yeah.
Survivor.
So it's, yeah, I mean, it's like, it's a competition reality show.
So
but this one, like,
yeah.
the difference is like you can watch them 24/7. Like, you
It
can,
is
like,
so
I
crazy.
watched it. I was unemployed when the last season happened, so like there were multiple times
You were
where I just
clocked
like
in.
turned it on, and like I was watching them just like
it
walk
goes
around
for
the house.
24 hours a day?
For the most part, I mean, I think they turn it off when they're like filming the challenge, so like you still want to watch the actual episode.
Right.
Like, I don't think they let
But
it
there's, like, a
spoil
live
things,
stream
but like,
on it.
yeah, you can watch them sleep if
Wow,
you want
that
to.
is so
Yeah.
crazy. I didn't
I
actually know
auditioned
that
for
part of
it.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should audition again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll be calling you.
So I have never followed closely. I just started following Jojo Siwa being on it because
obviously.
I got really interested in the fact of how she was like potentially emotionally cheating on her girlfriend with this other contestant who is from Love Island. What is his name? Chris Hughes. So again, actually to harken back to the age gap conversation we had last week. Last year. I feel like it was last year. There's so much has happened. People, first of all, have had a lot to say about that because Jojo Siwa was 21.
And her ex was 28, I think.
I was talking about Chris Hughes.
Well, and Chris Hughes is also older, but her ex is also like...
Well, I'm getting to the ex.
How old is he?
How old is Chris
God.
Hughes?
Yeah.
I mean, much older than her.
I'm assuming in his 30s.
He is
47.
32.
32. Yeah, so...
Oh, he looks it.
So, but anyway, there is all this footage, of course, of them getting really cuddly. And as we know, Jojo Siwa is a lesbian.
What?
Yeah, they
He
dated.
dated Jessie Nelson?
Yeah.
Yes, he dated.
Continue. Okay, sorry.
So there's all this footage kind of throughout the season of them, Jojo and Chris's relationship. They get very close.
Yeah.
And it starts to just be like a little questionable because they're cuddling a lot in bed. And they're in the hot tub together, and like he's kind of like kissing her cheek and stuff like that, or like whatever.
She comes to the realization like through him that she's maybe
Not lesbian, which again allow people to change their minds. Hell yeah. But the internet's problem with this is that she has a girlfriend back home during all of this, which I was like in awe about because I was like, imagine being Jojo Siwa's girlfriend. Imagine being anyone's girlfriend and being able to have access to like your significant others. Yes, having access to your significant others, like this progressive relationship happening throughout this reality TV show, and you're just like watching that happen, and you can't do anything because they don't have phones. Like obviously, whatever. So I was just thinking about it in terms of that for her and the internet's speculation of, is this more than just a friendship? Like, what is going on? Jojo's clearly very confused, like, whatever. And then quite literally, Jojo Siwa got voted off last week, and the day that she got voted off, she broke up with her girlfriend.
Yeah.
It was like
Did she win?
at the party.
Yeah, it was like the rap party.
Or like at the rap party, yeah. I don't think she wins, but like at the rap party, she breaks up with her girlfriend, which, sorry, I'm blanking on her name. Kath. So all of that to say is like, I don't even have an opinion on this. I just think it's crazy that all of that happened. And because it was just like most of the way through this season, I wasn't paying attention at all. And suddenly I was like, first of all, I was like, wait, Jojo Siwa is on this show right now?
Right, yeah.
And then I was like, all of this has occurred.
I saw clips of her and some other older guy that were like weird, and like he was like maybe her.
That's when I was tuned into this because Mickey Rourke
it's
was
Mickey
like
Rourke. He's
super
a dick.
homophobic.
He was that's actually when I clocked
crazy.
in. He had just made a comment to her like, you
won't be gay.
You won't be gay in 4 days or whatever.
Unfortunately, it was true.
Well,
not fully, but
let's not give Mickey Rourke his the benefit of here.
He was like, I'm gonna vote the lesbian out, or like he also said like.
So actually, it showed JoJo's character because in that moment that he offended her like that, she kind of laughed it off and then forgave him like the episode after or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, kind of was like he apologized and she said, "Hey, dude." Okay, like let's move on from this, like being very forgiving. And then he did something to fuck it up like immediately after. And so he just like sucks. No, it was just something else. Like he clearly is a terrible person. So screw you, Mickey Rourke.
My opinion of this is that, and as a longtime Dance Moms watcher, that like JoJo's always been in the public eye, but she's always had like a connection to like seeing what everyone's saying about her. And like I think this is the first time in her life where she probably has been in a similar scenario but without the outside world opinions. And even as a dancer, like you just do like kind of like whatever you think you should do or you're told to do. So I think for the first time she was probably just like having real connections where she didn't have to watch herself back form relationships on a screen, and now she will have to watch it back, but she didn't have to, and
having to do it in real time without anyone telling you what to do.
Of course, like it's like a lot, like discovering her sexuality and like I don't know, like maybe
she is so young still too.
So I think like of course she broke up with her girlfriend after she was on Big Brother. Like that.
It's crazy how quick that was, but
you would do it too. Like I think it's just like. She's not someone who was, like, in this, like, marriage, who, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think
the girlfriend the ex apparently said they were talking about marriage before she went on the show, whatever. But, I mean, she's Jojo Siwa's 21.
If Kath is 28, she was talking about marriage with a 21-year-old girl.
That's
her own fault. Sorry. I know it's upsetting and, like, you know, if you're picturing your future with someone, but I'm sorry, you're dating a child star who's still literally practically a child. Who probably has the mind of, like, a 16-year-old still. Like, probably.
I have no idea.
Like, we don't know. Child actresses, like...
They say you get, like, stunted at the age you got famous.
Like, she probably, you know, just needs a sec.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, all that to say is that, like, we're supportive of Jojo Siwa. I support breakups always and forever. That's my rule, number one. But two... that is true of me. But two, like, allow Jojo Siwa to change your mind, go figure out your sexuality, girl.
Everyone should have the room to do that. And if Chris Hughes helped you get there, then God.
What the hell? Sure.
Also, the only thing I don't want Jojo to ever do again is that dance. I saw her do the karma dance again. Let's like forget about the time in which we were kind of against Jojo Siwa, because now I'm kind of for her. Right, so like I need her to continue to act like this and be super normal, and I need her to leave the glitter in the past.
It won't last.
No, she's gonna be back so soon.
And breaking news. Jojo Siwa's ex-girlfriend Kath has just posted a TikTok of her in a car singing "Traitor" by Olivia Rodrigo. You're still a traitor.
When I posted the breakup thing on Facetune, I used that sound.
That's good.
It should have gone
great minds over here.
Okay, Devin.
I can't stop thinking about Party For You by Charli XCX.
Oh, wow.
I can't, like, it's as a trend on TikTok. It's taken over every aspect of my life, and I'm not really sure why. It's just, I feel like consume TikTok trends in a way that's normal, but I'm just, like, really obsessed with this one because, for those who don't know, Party For You by Charli XCX is a lovely song. First of all, before we get into the trend of it all, I just want to say how validating it is when, like, an artist blows up for their new pieces of work, and then people retroactively go back and are like, this is amazing also, and then that gets their flowers too, which I'm sure you, especially Michael, have been a Charli XCX fan the longest out of all of us. So and I think like you've sent me that song to listen to before, and I like it's just so validating when that happens.
This song was also crazy because this was like her quarantine album where she would like make it on like Instagram Live, and so like this song came out in like deep COVID. And so, like, it's, like, also all about, like, throwing a party, but, like, it's also about being
adds
alone.
another layer of
and then
it.
it's like, well, we were alone.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time I listened to like this song in this album, and I was just like sitting in my room during lockdown, like crazy.
That adds another layer of it, because as I was going to explain, like if you haven't heard the song, it's very obvious. It's just a song about like saying that you have a crush on someone and you've thrown a whole entire party just for one person to show up and you want to see them. You know, very Great Gatsby in that way.
Yeah.
But what TikTok has decided to do is, first of all, there was a debate first on what the breakdown of Party for You felt like, in terms of people were saying, like, some people were saying, like, this is the moment that you see that person at the party, right? Like, this is, like, that positive experience. And other people were like, no, the breakdown of this song is actually devastating, and to me, what it feels like is when you see that person at the party and they're talking to somebody else. Yeah. Or you realize that person is not coming. Yeah. So there are so many different, and I don't know where I actually ultimately lie, but I think what TikTok has decided is, because now what they're doing is finding all of these clips of, like, movies and TV shows, and this is this moment, and I just, like, can't stop consuming them. Like one of them is when Carrie sees Big with what's her face at that party, and she's in that fuck ass cowboy hat. What's her name? Natasha.
And she was 25.
And then today I saw one of Mia and Sebastian at the end of La La Land. Spoilers if you haven't seen La La Land. But when like he sees her in the crowd when he's on the stage, when she's in the crowd and he's on the stage. And I also just like love that movie so much. So all of this to say is that it's just like a trend for real yearners. Yeah. And to Michael's point of what he was saying before about also it being during COVID and you're like, it's a song about being alone too, adds this other layer. But I wanted to think about it in a larger view of where we're going as a society. And there's all this like, there's commentary on TikTok right now about how people think the pendulum is swinging from this attitude of like no one too cool to care, which I think is where we've been cute, like as a whole, as a society the past couple years. Like our generation is very like too cool to care. That's where we get like situationships from, and that's where we like have lost real yearning and real romance. Yeah. And a song like Party for You by Charli XCX trending is like, we're bringing real yearning back. We're bringing real, like, wanting real connection for it. And I think it's a part of a larger conversation that we're seeing.
She's never afraid to say something kind of, like, taboo as well, which I also love.
Yeah. And I think she does that with Brat, too.
She's saying at the right time somehow, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's doing that with Brat, too. Like, she's being, like, so vulnerable and emotionally honest. And, I don't know, I think that she's so impressive in the way that...
She is. I saw a video of her this morning, and she was, like, performing whatever the last show she had this week was, and she was just, like, everyone's, like, she's just standing up here dancing, and then she's like, well, you fucking get up here and do it.
Yeah.
It's so iconic.
Yeah, and in the way, that performance is vulnerable,
like,
in the way that she does that.
People who, like, deem either themselves to, like, real artists and, like, don't deem her to be one, or artists who are silently thinking that, it's like, well, you're not having the impact, or your artist is not having the impact that Charli is, so why are
you do it?
I really I feel like for some reason Charli specifically like is like up there with like Taylor and like Miley for me, as like I do like categorize certain like moments or parts of my life with her music. Like honestly more so than like Gaga, it's like that's just like an overall thing of my whole life. Same. But like for like Charli specifically, like I feel like I like am sometimes like stuck on like certain songs sometimes that I love.
Yeah,
or like
she has a tendency.
Or like
she created a whole moment last
with, like,
year.
Something, like I love it, and we're all seeing Charli XCX this week at separate times.
This is the last time you're seeing us. The day this episode drops, I see Charli XCX. Yeah. So this is the last time you're all seeing us pre Charli XCX.
We're gonna look completely different.
I'm really excited to we're gonna
really long black hair. It's gonna be crazy.
I mean, we're all gonna be wearing sunglasses and we'll all wear our Brat shirts. But yeah, I am really excited to see Party for You live. I'm assuming she doesn't know set list spoilers, but everyone drop your favorite Party for You TikTok that you've seen below. Yeah.
I
think mine was today. I saw the La La Land one and I was like, that's it right there.
I think mine's the Hannah, Adam, and Justin.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you sent that one. I was like,
actually, I forgot I sent that one to you guys.
Girls.
It is because it's like, it's so many different layers happening there.
It's so many layers, and that's so true.
Your ex-boyfriend betrayed you, like all these things.
Oof, that's a good one too.
Your
ex-boyfriend's weird play that's happening in several different
and the way that Jess is looking at him.
Oh my god, like Girls season like,
oh my god.
I think it's like season 5 episode something.
Oh my god,
highly
I saw
recommend
a clip
everyone
of
watch
Lena
it.
Dunham the other day being like, if and when we reunite, it'll be when we're like 80. Like, it'll be like
I saw that.
past the Sex and the City age.
I'm like,
I think
yeah.
like
yes.
45,
but I can't
50.
wait. Can we hire new actors?
Don't worry, we
that
have
will
the
just
10
like
Things
that?
I Hate About You musical coming to hold you
Also
over.
good news. Yeah. And her series. That's
And her
actually
act.
happening.
Yeah, that's actually happening.
That's
We're
actually
excited
happening.
about that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So there's been a trend on, it started on Twitter with like the Disney Channel Mount Rushmore, and it was Raven Simone, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, and Zendaya. And like it just started a big controversy of like, should those have been the 4 women who like are the pillars of Disney Channel?
Okay.
And then people just started to make their own version.
It's like AI things of like
and I will
your
be
Mount
making
Rushmore.
each of ours.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of need help with mine. But like,
I have mine.
Did you do yours based on like public opinion or your opinion?
I did mine based on my own opinion.
Okay.
I went like, because I heard someone do this on a podcast last week, and I like went a little too extra, and I like they like looked up what each figure on Mount Rushmore stands for, and then picked something, which honestly helped me a little bit
it
though.
did?
Yes.
Well,
I
can't
have not
do
equipped
that.
for this.
Okay, I'll share mine, but first I have to find out.
So, is our big 4 of
Just like TV shows
I did
of all
TV.
time.
Yeah.
TV shows?
Yeah,
Okay.
like anything that has shaped you from a TV show standpoint.
Can I do mine?
I'm still,
Yeah.
okay.
So, like, for what I did for this, which is, like, too much, like, the normal one is just people pick 4 things that they like. But it says that Mount Rushmore reflects the nation's birth, growth, development, and preservation.
Interesting.
So, mine is, my birth is, this is such a random one to start off on. My birth is Miss Piggy. Because I've actually recently come back around to her. Because did you hear on Las Culturistas, Amy Poehler said that Miss Piggy was her culture, that made her say culture was for her. And
No.
I actually grew up really loving the Muppets. And so,
You're
like,
a Muppets guy. Okay.
I was. And so, like, when I think back on, like, birth, like, Miss Piggy was, like, so glamorous.
Right.
And, like, she, like, always
That
had
is
her,
great.
like,
I love that.
big productions. And do you follow her on Instagram?
No.
No, I am.
Well, since she's a real person, she has an Instagram. And her, like, captions are so funny. It's just like, this one, felt cute, might post again and again and again later. Or, like, it's just a
Yes.
bunch of really chic stuff.
Yeah, I do love her work.
And so, some things never go out of style. Thankfully, the corset is not one of those things. Good riddance, in all caps. So, birth for me is Miss Piggy. Because that
I
kind of
love
also
that.
shapes my love of glamorous women that will,
is
like, further be
so
seen
true.
in this. Okay. Growth is Carrie Bradshaw, Sex and the City.
Yeah.
That was, like, when I was, like, okay, like, sort of, like, seeing, like grown people in New York City and, like, developing relationships and stuff like that. Development, which is, like, when I kind of came to terms with, like, who I am present,
Yeah.
is a mix. Like, obviously, I know. I think I'm gonna Hannah Horvath from Girls, obviously, but I actually think I'm gonna go away from her and go with Carrie Dubek from the other two.
Okay.
Just because, like, I'm a mix of Carrie and Brooke. Career-wise, it's Brooke, but, like, personal life-wise, it's Carrie. And so I think that he and I are very similar. And so, like, I really identify with that character.
I love
And
that
then-
show.
I love that show. And then Preservation is Countess Luann from The Real Housewives of New York City, because she's just so fabulous. And, like, she's a preservation in the way that, like, she's, like, become this, like, New York institution where now that she's not, like, a housewife anymore, she just, like, you just kind of see her, like, prowling around bars, smoking cigarettes and, like, trolling for dick. And, like, that's kind of just, like, what she's always doing now. And so, like, I think that, like, when we look at where we want to be in the future, like,
That's
Countess
really
Lou, we want to be smoking cigarettes.
on your
yeah,
vision
like
board.
she's
for Dick.
and doing
Yeah.
cabaret. Yeah,
Yes.
like and like
Yeah.
traveling the country doing cabaret.
Yeah.
I think that's
like,
I think that's a great list, Michael.
That's mine.
So I didn't think about it like that.
You shouldn't have. Like,
Okay.
I just went too
Well,
balls
I
to the
think
wall.
I did think about, like, certain parts of my life and,
Yeah.
like, how, like, what time I
Like
those
what
characters
that
at.
ruled for you.
So I'll
Yeah.
kind of try to go in a similar order that you did. So my first is Ashley Tisdale,
Yeah.
obviously, Sweet Life, Zack and Cody, High School Musical, And then also Phineas and Ferb. Like, I just think she has, like, a good, like, repertoire of different characters.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And obviously she did other things. Was she in, like, she was in something else?
She did.
No, but...
You're thinking of Hilary Duff, but she's still kind of around.
She's around enough, but obviously she just shaped
that's
my
Birth.
entire... Yeah, that's Birth for me.
Yeah.
But she shaped my entire childhood. And then what was the second one?
Growth.
Growth? Okay, I'll kind of go here. So I also, similar to the Disney Channel one, I had Zendaya on mine.
Yeah.
Because I did love all of her stuff on Disney Channel, and, like, I loved her because I felt like she was different than everyone else, and, like, she was so cool. Mm-hmm. But then I also loved Euphoria. She wasn't my favorite character on Euphoria, but I really think that she... Like, people have a hard time going from Disney Channel to real life, and she was...
Yeah. It was a good bounce back.
Not, like, she said, like, no, like, I will not be put in this bubble. And Challengers, let's not forget it, even though it's a movie and not TV, but...
Yeah.
So, she's on mine. And then Sarah Jessica Parker, obviously. I went back and forth between her and Kim Cattrall, because, like, obviously, Kim Cattrall would be for me. But I just think, ultimately, it's Sarah Jessica Parker, like...
Yeah.
I took the people's opinion also into that one for me. And then my last one is Leighton Meester, because...
Period.
So maybe
love her
Leighton
so
Meester
much.
would become before Carrie Bradshaw, actually.
Yeah.
But love her so much, obviously Gossip Girl, but then Monte Carlo is, like, one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
And I just love Leighton Meester, and she'll never get old for me.
She really is.
A good preservation one.
And I also like to say all of those people, like, they've grown up, if they were young.
Yeah.
They've grown up to be, like, respectable.
Yeah.
Like,
people that I've, like, still look up to.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never unfollow Ashley Tisdale till the day I die.
And I think it's kind of hard, especially with people like Ashley Tisdale and Zendaya, who are child stars.
Yeah.
And they've grown up to be, whether they've become more famous like Zendaya or whether they've plateaued like Ashley Tisdale.
Right.
They're both pretty normal, respectable.
Right.
No tea, no shade to child stars. It's not their fault that they grow up to be crazy.
No, yeah.
But yeah, I was, like, toying with the idea of Selena Gomez because I did love her so much back in the day, and she is still kicking it now with acting, and it might be her best thing that she got going for her, other than her beauty. So I did toy with that, but then ultimately I went with Zendaya instead of her.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So
that's great.
Yeah, you went, like, actress route.
I went actress and
character.
Yeah, that's why I was asking for clarification, because ultimately I needed this to be either really specific for me to understand it, because, like, I just feel like I didn't watch that much. I don't identify with, like, TV shows like that, kind of. Like, in our later lives, like, yeah, I love Sex and the City, I love Girls, but I don't think I have 4. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think I can do it. I really honestly don't think I can do it.
Can I start your number 1 off, because I have a 5th one that I forgot to mention? I have to take someone off.
I know what you're going to say right now.
No, you don't. You don't. It's Kerry Washington as Olivia Pope.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that... Okay, wait, hold on. I have to take someone off.
Take Clayton.
Like...
Or not.
I'm going to take Zendaya off and go Kerry Washington.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, you really loved Scandal.
Yeah, and Kerry Washington's a great actress.
She is.
Yeah.
So...
If I'm trying to think of 4 off the top of my head, like, can I start with Squidward Tentacles?
Yeah, that's Birth.
That is my Birth. What's the next one? This is my
like
rapid fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Growth
but
is
my ultimate is, like, I don't know who from Parks and Rec it would be, because I love Amy Poehler so much, but, like, I feel like you guys have all chosen people you really, like, look up to and see yourself in, and it's not like Leslie Knope is my, like, person.
Right. You just love her, though.
So I think I would go Aubrey Plaza.
You could also do a
April.
series one if you wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could get really deep into this Mount Rushmore thing.
I know. That's why it's like it either has to be like so.
Plaza's a really good one.
Yeah, I mean, she's loved my life. Yeah. I'd also alternatively go Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman. However, I've already said Squidward, so I think that's really pigeonholing me. So although like Aubrey Plaza's giving Squidward energy anyway. But I really truly love Aubrey Plaza so much, so I feel fine about her being in my Mount Rushmore. What's the next one?
Preservation?
No, like development. I think development.
Alana Glazer.
Yeah. Is that what you thought I was gonna say?
Yeah, but I love her so much.
Yeah.
The way that I feel about her is like, I love Girls so much and I love Sex and the City, but there's not someone I've fully like just like respected so much, and like I love Alana's on Broad City. I love her arc so much as a person. So no spoilers, because everyone should watch Broad City if you're listening.
Really no spoilers.
What's the last one?
And then Preservation.
Now I feel like this could be. I would have to think harder about this one, but like this is a good one because there's probably older women that I look up to that I'm like, I like a Countess Luann of sorts that I'm like, I want to be you in my oldest age.
It's Che from And Just Like That.
I've never seen that show. Like maybe I'll go back like,
Paulson.
oh my God, yeah. I was thinking about someone from the Ryan Murphy verse.
Yeah, I feel like I really identify you with.
I think. Honestly, I'm gonna actually raise you Jessica Lange. I'm gonna put Jessica Lange actually there.
Yeah.
So she is someone that I've like all I've wanted to be. She's so incredibly talented, and American Horror Story was also really pivotal for me. But I was really young watching that, so it wasn't like I was like Jessica Lange is my. But now I'm like, she is the most fabulous woman alive. So there's my Mount Rushmore. That's my rapid fire Mount Rushmore.
That was good, Devin.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. That's our Mount Rushmores.
So who wants to do our notorious party girl of the week?
So you haven't seen this, Michael?
No.
Okay, so I wrote this down because this is the only thing I can think of truly.
But this is great.
So, as we all know, Charli XCX has a song called Apple that has notoriously started a TikTok trend. Don't know who started, don't know the name of the girl who started.
She's great.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just explain it to you and we can put the video on the screen and you can watch it when you watch it.
Well, we have to explain it to our people who only listen to.
So the Apple Girl, Charli picks someone to be the Apple Girl when she performs Apple and do the dance when that part of the song comes on. And it's, sometimes it'll be like an influencer or one of Charli's famous friends or just
I
a
think
famous
last week
person
we
who's
discussed
there.
Bowen Yang.
So we discussed Bowen Yang last week. But this week, I think she knows the little girl's name. So I don't know.
So a video, you saw the video that went viral before.
I did, but do you know who the little girl is what I'm asking?
Like her name.
But do you know who, is she a famous person is what I'm saying?
No, the video that went viral about her.
I saw the video of her doing the Apple dance, yes.
No. There was a video.
That's what I'm asking.
Oh, okay. So what happened was that there was a video of her, I think. There was a video of her begging her mom to see Charli XCX. And she's playing like a incredibly vulgar Charli XCX song that I'm blanking on the name right now. And she's like showing her mom, and she's her older sister with her too. And she's like begging her mom for concert tickets. And she's like, please. And then like the mother is like listening to the song, and she's like, this is exactly why you're not going. I mean, this little girl's like maybe 7.
She's young.
She's like 6 or 7. She's absolutely fabulous. So we need to insert that video. And then
if you're listening, we'll put it in the little description down below.
So it's like just a hilarious video. Clearly, she just loves Charli XCX so much. And as a normal mother, you would say no. But then if Charli XCX reaches out to you and says free tickets for you guys, you're going to absolutely go.
Oh, so she got to go be the Apple Girl.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She was the Apple Girl.
And it is these older girls or / women's fault, but they need to do a better job. If they have picked someone specific to be the Apple Girl, they need to remove them from the crowd so they can be the Apple Girl. Like that, whatever happened, should never happen again. But it's this poor little 7-year-old girl, and when I say like bitches are pushing her, and
like girl.
I mean they're jumping up
she's
and
in
down.
the pit,
like nobody
so it's
boom.
yeah.
But oh my god, she though she stood her ground and like it didn't.
That was her moment.
At all.
Yeah.
But, like if that was me as a little girl, like I would have been so upset and like so taken aback in the moment. She was like absolutely not. I was like jumping in front of them like a jumping bean. But it really does go back to the fact of like this has happened on multiple times with different people. Like, can they not get it together and just just barricade it a little bit? So
you'd think at least if you specifically gifted someone with tickets to the show to see this, you would, since she's also young.
Yeah, I would just like put them in a little barricade spot. People are still behind her, but nobody can get in front of her.
Yeah. I think for Charli, it's like she doesn't want it to be that big of a production, but also it's like you can't trust these bitches out here.
7-year-old girl,
someone can get hurt. Like people want to be in that screen so bad,
Yeah.
Like I would kill someone to be in it.
So she is our notorious party girl of the week.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Girl who is gonna grow up to be
absolutely the notorious party girl of the century because she is so fabulous. But she wins this week because we're your biggest fan. And maybe when we talk to you next week, one of us will have been the Apple Girls.
Oh my God.
We'll see.
Probably not. I'm not on the pit. So, but we can dream.
Charli,
We're
if you want to upgrade
close.
us.
Hey, if you want us to be your little girls this week.
Yeah, what she said.
Night one at Barclays. I'm there.
We're night like 3 or something.
Yeah.
4, yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it from us.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
We really appreciate it.
Please go to the
times
reviews section of Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening, and leave us a 5-star review with some nice words. Leave your 5-star review and then put your own Mount Rushmore in the comment section. That would be really fun.
And let
in
us
the
know
comment section.
what your favorite party for you trend is. And that's just for me.
Oh my god, tag us. So yeah.
And follow us on all social platforms.
Yeah.
Yep, our handles on Instagram and TikTok are whatever happened to fun pod, whatever is 2 words, and then pretty much every else you would need us is whatever happened to fun. Oh my god,
Yeah.
And you can find us on YouTube, whatever.
And
just
also,
search whatever
we have a
Fun
Substack,
podcast.
and you might want to wait till after Michael posts a think piece about Katy Perry to follow, but we'll be writing on that.
It'll be there,
I'll be writing on that. I don't know how to read or write.
Well,
or ride a bike for that
tune
matter.
in
While we're
everywhere.
just listing things you can't do.
Tell your friends, anyone who's fun.
Tell your friends.
But yeah, we'll see you guys
your
next
lovers,
week.
your enemies. Okay.
Bye.
So bored I could die. No one's fun anymore.